Hello, hi, a very happy good evening. So this is Krishna Ma'am. We've been talking about the story of life on earth, and that's biology. So thank you for joining me on this evening. So please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So it's a new concept called Know Something New. So I want to tell you something new that's happening right around you, right everywhere, right in the air. It's omnipresent. So that's microplastics. So let's talk about microplastics. So it's just a 5 minutes video, but I wanted to come live so that I can interact with you about your queries. So before, you would have seen my short videos. So it is just an alternate or substitute to that. I'm not doing a recorded video. Instead, I'm doing something live. So the first topic in Know Something New series is your microplastics. So what do I have to talk about microplastics? So here we go. Okay, so we'll move it with a hand. Okay, so what I want to tell you is scientists are still trying to grapple the hard reality of microplastic shards everywhere. So on an average, the world produces 400 million tons of plastic every year, but I don't know how much we actually recycle. So I have a Sensex for you that I can show you. So the US, okay, so it's here. The US generated 36 million tons of plastic in 2018, but it recycled only about 9%. So 9% is the one that is being recycled. So what about the remaining percentage? So what happened? So it is just spread throughout, right? So what are these microplastics? So plastics deteriorate into tiny particles, which is in the range of 1 to 2 millimeters long, okay? So that is your microplastics, right? So if you see, plastics take a long time to degrade in the landfills, anywhere from 100 to 1000 years. So this is a time limit that your plastic takes to degrade. It is not very easy that it can be degraded in just a minute or overnight or in a year, no. So imagine now if you start accumulating 400 tons of plastic, how many years it would take for plastic to naturally get degraded in the landfills. So that's an alarming reality that we all should stand up to realize, right? So moving further, so plastics deteriorate into minute particles between 1 micrometer and 5 millimeters. So that is your microplastics. So this microplastic was coined by a marine ecologist, Richard. So when he found shards of plastic on the little beaches in his country. So what is so special about this microplastic? So why I chose microplastic as my first topic is these microplastics are present everywhere today. In the depth of the sea, in the Arctic ice, in the air that we breathe, and inside us as well. Yes, it's a clinically proven one that our body, our blood, our tissues also have shards of microplastics. So recently, some of the studies that was done have proved the presence of microplastics in your body, right? So I will show you evidences. So this was a journal, Environmental Science and Technology. It said so. The study estimated that humans ingest up to 100,000 bits of plastic each day. So there's no wonder that microparticles cannot be in our body, right? So we ingest almost 100,000 bits of plastic each day. So microplastics less than 20 millimeters, they penetrate inside a cell, they cause inflammation and they cause accumulation, they accumulate in your tissues. In turn, they cause inflammation, cell death and DNA damage. So is it not microplastic really dangerous? So look at this much more sharp realization of what the scientists have said. So in a house where you live, approximately all the house is filled with dust, right? So even a house that you live every day, you have dust. So that is why you have appointed a maid to clean your house. So even if it's a house that's been closed for years together, you still have dust, right? So wherever dust is omnipresent. So in the house where you live, approximately 20 kgs of dust accumulate per year, of which 6 kgs are microplastic fibers. And if you're a person who prefers to stay indoor, you overconsume microplastics, right? So you are exposed to more amount of microplastics than ever. So this is the shocking reality of microplastics. Imagine microplastics getting inside your body. So it's a clinically proven one. It's also been come in the news that microplastics have become a part and parcel of a blood sample. If microplastics take hundreds and thousands of years to get degraded in the landfill, how long will it take in our body to degrade? So will it not become a case of biomagnification? The question is for you to ponder. So now I've been talking about the problem so far. So what kind of solution can we offer to this microplastics? So we are in a stage where we cannot avoid microplastics. So right now I have a lot of microplastics in my blood and you have a lot of microplastics in your blood. So how are we going to avoid it? So do we have a present day solution? So what is the need of the hour? The need of the hour is not to talk about the problem but to talk about the solution. So do we actually have a solution to this? So the answer comes by that we have solutions which are very scarce. The amount of problem is huge and it's as tall as a mountain, but the solution we have is in the size of a small puddle. So it was a quote that was given by a very famous actor. So he said, by 2050 we'll have more amount of plastics in the water than the amount of fishes that should be. So that is what you guys should stand up to realize. All right, so everything that you use in your home is plastic, right? So how much of plastic do you use? So you start from your brush, your toothbrush. So your toothbrush is also plastic, right? So how many of you did you even realize that your toothbrush is also plastic and you should change that if you have to stop the use of plastic at home? So you can change your alternative to a bamboo brush that is also available in the market. So please look into, only when you're willing to do a change, the change will come. So what solution now do we have? So we have one drugged drying vacuum which can separate the microplastics from the organic materials. So this is one way by which it can be done. But again, this is on the earth surface or on the shore areas that you can do. So what about how can you actually make or break down microparticles, microplastics that are inside your blood? So the answer is up to you, to the future generation, to bring up and give us a change. So the second way is a bacterial biofilm could attract and trap microplastics at the wastewater treatment plant before the water flows into the rivers and oceans. So what is a biofilm? So I hope you know that a bacteria and a bacteria communicates, right? So when a bacteria is in isolation, that is its weakness. Okay, so a bacteria should always be in a colony, right? So in a culture plate, in microbes in human welfare, I have told you microbes are always in colonies, right? So these microbes, actually these bacteria, individual bacteria, they communicate with the other. They communicate not just by talking hey, hello, hi. They communicate with the sticky material, a sticky polysaccharide, that is your biofilm. So when bacteria is in stress, it forms a biofilm. So you can actually form a bacterial biofilm that can attract plastics and you can have a bacteria that can degrade it. So that's the most beautiful and the possible solution that I can see forward. But let's see how far it can come into a pilot scale and then into an industrial scale for this process. But until then, if we can only think about reducing the use of plastic, so that will be the greatest help that we can ever do. But always the change starts at home, the charity begins at home, so everything begins at home. So do your part well, so whatever you can do, you do it well. So that's all about the awareness I want to create about microplastics, so it is up to you. So if you like these kind of short videos, so please do like, share and subscribe, and please stay tuned because tomorrow we are going to discuss the paper once again. Right, so we are going to discuss the paper that we started yesterday. So yesterday we were discussing the botany questions of first 25. So later tomorrow we'll discuss the next 25 questions. All right, so stay tuned. If you genuinely like this video, so please do like, share and follow. Thank you.